Let's see how on time we're going to be for this one. Of course we're going to be on time. Bang. Pumped up. Welcome everybody to another edition of the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. I am Marcus, the grand finale, and I'm joined by
Lord Manny. Hey, hey!
Ho ho! And this celebration does not just begin with a I forgot something. It's too late. It's ruined. I had a balloon. Ryan had a birthday balloon, but I was gonna use it in back of me because it is Manny's birthday. In fact, I will get. No, I'm not. I'm not getting up. I'm not getting up. You're just gonna see a big white screen, and it's like, what? Well, I don't understand. But Manny, happy birthday. How do you feel being 22 years old?
22. Ooh. We've gone back in time, have we?
We went back in time.
I know. Your sign off before was that you were more powerful than a time machine, but I didn't realize we were going back in time today.
Wow, I haven't used that in forever. Dang, that is a throwback. I should bring that back. Jesus Christ, where's a pen and paper? But yeah, so my first question to you, Manny, as we cover Monday Night Raw and the happenings of wrestling, and just, overall discussion. Who knows where this podcast go or this YouTube channel go? Do you think it's going to be a good birthday? Do you have plans or anything, or is it just a regular day? Or
I think it's just become a regular day. It's definitely a quiet one.
Yeah. Considering
when you get past 30, if you're still celebrating it, you really got issues.
Hey man, you need an excuse to turn that bottle up, all right? You need an excuse to turn that bottle up.
If you need an excuse, that means you have a problem. Just do it.
I always enjoy the people like, oh man, let's play beer fog so we can get drunk and stuff. But I'm like, you can just drink. What about this game with the cups?
Excuse.
Just drink.
Excuse. Don't. I'm like, oh, you beat me and you made me really drunk. Don't blame me for your wrongdoings.
You're an alcoholic. Accept it. Accept it. You're Jeff Hardy. You're a junkie. You're a junkie, Jeff. You're a junkie. All right, so let's move into the happenings of. Oh wow! Look at me jump in front of the screen like that.
It was really good. It was really good, except some convolutions in terms of the finish for the women's title match. But it is what it is.
Yeah. What do you feel like? So let's jump right into it. In this edition, as I zoom out on my camera because I'm so zoomed in on this next shot.
Jesus.
I know, like I hit the button. Yeah, I hit the button.
See the perspiration on your head.
That's what I was going for. Come on, look at that. Look at that sweat. Look at that natural human sweat.
That perspiration.
Look at that. That's human. That's humanity right there. That's biology. Oh, that's DNA. I don't know. All right, enough about my DNA. But Sasha Banks versus Asuka, women's WWE Championship Raw title match. Any DQ, count out, or false count anywhere kind of finish, or outside interference forces a disqualification. It starts off with Kairi Sane out there and Bayley being chased to the back. We don't know what happened to them for about 20 minutes until later there's footage on the screen of Bayley committing an act of murder. Manny, how did you feel about this footage? And do you think Asuka did the right thing by saving her bestie?
Well, first of all, I think Bayley has now incited a crime against Latin and Asian people.
Oh,
and
man.
Then, which has also brought in a conflict with the black people as well.
Yes,
by dragging Sasha into it.
Sasha's the one who's going to go to jail for it.
Sasha's an accomplice now.
Yeah, Sasha will not only go to jail, but Bayley, who actually did the crime, will do less time than what Sasha ends up doing.
But, like, we were a witness of a really great match, and it was like Sasha Banks of NXT fame, not Sasha Banks of the main roster. And you also got Extreme Asuka as well. Asuka from NXT.
Yeah.
Asuka the ass kicker.
Yeah.
And then yeah, the finish happened like that, but I feel like to move the story along the way they were going, it had to happen that way, and it was the perfect way to write off Kyrie Sane, I suppose.
A murder? Well, that's how they took out Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows with murder.
Yeah.
But, so, I've been going back and forth, as I told you earlier in our pre-meeting, about how I felt about this finish. One, I wanted to see Sasha win. Nothing personal against Asuka. I love Asuka and whatever, the horsewomen, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They always have the titles. I don't care. I needed the Golden Role Models to have the titles. They are the best act in current WWE, if not all of wrestling. For me, they're entertaining as all hell. But two, Manny, if you were in that situation, hell, Eric, who's also in the chat, if you were in that situation, and I was Asuka, and let's say someone is beating you down, the Disman is beating you down in the back, I think I would be concerned about my title at that point. I feel she made the wrong decision, and it was a dumb decision, because you could have let the security or the officials in the back separate the fight. What could you do at this moment? Kairi Sane is already dead, even though she looked into the camera and screamed, "Asuka!"
You telling me that wouldn't bring you, like your levels of friendship wouldn't bring you to go save someone like that?
If my friends knew me,
in that terms of desperation, you would choose a championship belt over your friend's life.
I realize that I am a bastard. Yes,
But you also got to realize it's Sasha Banks. She doesn't have a title. She's never had a title reign longer than 30 days on the main roster. Which
so
means
I can always be like, I can get it.
I mean, you can get it back. You get a refund policy there.
Yeah, I see. I feel like it would have been a distraction, and more importantly, the person that Asuka should blame for her title loss is the production team. They did not have to put that on the screen. They did not have to put that up in the middle of the match. That could have just been an incident off camera. It was a crime. I'm sure I would love for them to explain this, but they're not. That Bayley goes, I had them put that footage up. I had them do it.
Exactly what Eric just said. You can get the belt back, but you can't get your friend back, Marcus.
Well, you have to believe. You have to go to the extent that how far do I think Bayley's gonna go? This is Bayley. She's never committed a crime until tonight. I did not feel like she would go full-blown murder. Like, I didn't believe Buddy Murphy was going to kill Aleister Black, but apparently here's a killer inside him, too. I'm just saying, if you know me, just like Eric knows, I am a selfish individual, and I will stay for the go. Eric's my brother, and he knows this. I think the people who are considered my friends know that I am very competitive, and at all costs, I would have ended the match. Asuka had Sasha in full control. I feel like Sasha could have got choked out, and she had time to go save Kyrie at the same time. Not Kyrie Irving, Kyrie Sane.
So, I now have two questions for you.
Yes.
One, does Asuka turn up on SmackDown and cost Bayley her SmackDown Women's Championship against Nikki Cross on Friday?
Ooh.
And then two, is Sasha Banks going to become a reigning champion of longer than 30 days on the main roster?
I think Sasha has it till SummerSlam. I don't think she's going to carry it long. She has until SummerSlam to keep that belt. I think
SummerSlam's what? In 4 weeks?
3 or 4 weeks, something like that. I don't think it's going to be a long reign for Sasha. But I do feel like this is about to be the fall of Bayley. I would love to see Bayley lose this week. By the way, pop.
Pop.
Oh, I do feel that this should be the downfall of Bayley. That Sasha now has this success. And because of Bayley, she has the success. But I think Bayley needs to lose on SmackDown. I think they need to lose the tag team titles and have Bayley get pinned. And I think Bayley can keep losing, going down this path of losing to pay for her sins of killing Kairi Sane. And Sasha refusing to give her a title shot.
So do you think Stephanie McMahon will get involved in this? Because obviously there's slight interference in this. Not directly interference, indirect interference, which causes Asuka to be distracted.
Well,
and then do we get the match that everyone wants: Sasha versus Bailey for all the gold.
For all the gold, only one side.
There can only be one. There can only be one.
Well, what I think they need to do, they need to start showing up on NXT and threatening EO. They got to come up there and just threaten EO. Like, we took the belts on Raw, and now we're threatening you. It would be a nice boost for them in the ratings, WWE-wise. And if they just went up there and was like, EO, I'm taking your belt, and put her in a choke. I don't know why. I mean, it seems like that Bailey is on she has the bloodlust right now. I think they need to go and take EO out as well.
You dying?
I think I'm dying. Someone call 911. No, don't. I'm okay. But here's my question. Now that the Golden Road models have all the belts, Manny, do you feel like this takes away all the opportunities of the women in the back and only focus on the two horsewomen that are remaining? And do you feel that they need to somehow give the titles out to your girl Nia Jax, ex-girl Shayna, and my girl Bianca?
How dare you call her my girl?
Hey, I knew that would be your response.
How dare you?
So what do you think the women's division go from here, that they have all the belts?
If they build a solid undercard going into like who's going to be the champion and stuff like that, I feel like it could work out, because like, they're not going to hold the belts for a long term, which is evident. But it's a case of them booking their female roster on the actual main roster to be remotely look like challengers, because outright no one looks like they stand a chance.
Yeah.
Other than like, let's just say, I think the only person that really stands out as championship material at the moment is Shayna.
Yeah. Let's go back to Shayna and Nia Jax. What did you think of the start of Raw, of her and them, that they had that pull apart and then they had that match which led into them just brawling for most of the time? What did you feel about that?
That was really dumb. Like, I don't understand the point of that. Like, if it was that much of a blood fight, why didn't you just announce that it was going to be like a Falls Count Anywhere or something like that? When like, for stuff like that.
Well, I believe that they didn't know that the fight was going to happen. I think they were trying to stage it as this, how they do their, we don't know what's on the card, and we're going to throw a show out there anyway, and so we're going to have a match. And I think they're still at the point that these two women lost total control, can't be controlled. I think the only way this can be settled, and this is the only thing I want from this, Manny, they need to go into the fight pit. They need to go into the fight pit. Shayna and Nia Jax, fight pit on Raw. Because I don't want it at SummerSlam, because they may be on a boat or something. But on Raw, fight pit, Shayna versus Nia Jax.
I'm telling you now, Nia Jax's knees are not coming out of that fight pit.
I don't think Nia Jax's knees will make it into the fight pit. I don't even think she has knees. It's just bone on bone. But a fight pit will reestablish both women as being the two most badasses. I saw somewhere that it would be nice to see them actually form a tag team. That would be the most dominant tag team ever. And it would protect Nia, who isn't really safe in the ring, and Shayna, who's older. And it would prolong their career if they actually form some type of deadly tag team, similar to the Brothers of Destruction.
You see, they've already tried this with Nia Jax and Tamina, and it didn't work.
But it's Tamina!
Partly Tamina's fault because she got injured, but unfortunate. But like, it's never worked. Like,
I'm adding that to the broadcast. No. But I feel like if they went to the style of like the Road Warriors, I feel like we haven't had that in the women's division. If they ran roughshod through multiple tag teams, I just think it's an interesting idea to go through that route. Like, if Sasha and Bailey were to lose to Nia Jax and Shayna, it would be best. With that being said, let's move on to the next topic. But I don't know if I gave my opinion. I really loved the Asuka Sasha match. It might be the best women's match I've seen all month, even better than Jordan Grace and Diana Peraza. It was just exciting. Okay. I don't know.
Since you've mentioned it, SummerSlam.
Yes.
SummerSlam locations.
Yes.
It's been going around today, and possibly last night, that SummerSlam may be taking place on a boat or on a beach. That
Yes.
WWE are looking into the possibility of doing this. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I don't want a normal boat, Manny. I mean, I'm rooting for a boat of some kind. I'm rooting for a beach of some kind. I don't want it at the Performance Center. Once you lay out ideas of different locations, I'm really down for it. Like when the Money in the Bank was going to be held, the match was going to be held at the corporate headquarters. They had to climb up. I wanted the rest of the matches to be on the roof of corporate headquarters. I was upset. It just would have been a nice change up in atmosphere and would have gave it more prestige, as this is a big event. With that being said, I don't want a normal boat. I want a battleship. I want SummerSlam to be on a battleship, similar to Lex Luger and Yokozuna and that epic body slammer dude. You put this on a battleship, and you have soldiers hanging around and wrestlers cheering them on. It looked like a Street Fighter event when you're fighting Gaio or whatever. I think that would be the most epic SummerSlam event of all time. Put them on a battleship. You call it SummerSlam Battleship.
I kind of want them to go to Fight Island, where the UFC's at.
Well, my whole problem with Fight Island, they didn't fight on the island. That could have been anywhere. They were indoors the entire time. I wanted it in the sand.
Boats and hosts.
You got to get the Godfather to put the hose on the boat. I mean, it'd be more holes on that boat. I feel like Vince McMahon would put more holes on the boat than were on the Jericho cruise. Like, I just feel like it was just a bunch of dudes there, and it's just a sausage fest. I don't want to be on the boat with a bunch of dudes.
If it was on a battleship, would it be more stable than when Jericho's boat was there?
Yeah, I feel like you have more space.
I felt like them lot were like having problems with the fact that the boat was moving and the wind. So I'm presuming on a battleship it would actually be more stable.
Yeah. I mean, but then you got to go with all the other precautions. There is COVID. I mean, they're not in these locations because they want to be. They'd rather be in an arena. You got to take in all the COVID locations and how do you keep people away and effects. So you got to hire security and, it may end up being a loss if they end up doing it like on a battleship or something. But it would be a spectacle that would be worth it. Like, you can even throw pyro into it as the night comes in. You gotta think about travel. I know the Miami Marlins recently had like 500 people test positive for COVID, and may cost baseball its season. But I think these are concerns WWE should be concerned about. But throw it on a boat. Battle at the beach. Hell, even what was the one with the motorcycles? Sturgis, Hog Wild with WCW. Put people in their cars. And just hang out like the Adam Cole Velveteen fight. Just put them there. Just make it a unique atmosphere. That's what I would go for.
Yeah, the only thing I remember recalling back when you mentioned that Velveteen and Adam Cole parking lot match was the lighting and the camera work. I felt that was very distracting to what you were actually watching. Other than that, it was a solid match. Yeah.
But hopefully SummerSlam we held in the day. And it's quite on the outside, quiet and whatnot. And it's not like all nighttime and shit. They get it done before the night.
Brock can have that rematch with the Shark.
Maybe we can get a underwater match, Manny. They just do a fight underwater. And there's a shark flying around, CG shark. And I mean, go all in with it. Go all in. Loser gets thrown into a shark tank. It's like, ah! And you can promote WWE Battleground. It'd be amazing.
That's an actually solid thing to do. So back to Raw. The next thing I would probably want to talk about is Randy Orton and his claim to the WWE title.
Yeah, he declares he's the champion. Because he's the greatest wrestler to ever live. And Drew, he's coming for you. What did you feel about his promo, his claim, and the ending to him RKOing Drew McIntyre after the Dolph Ziggler match?
I feel like I like watching the RKOs come out from nowhere, but they're getting a bit obvious that it's going to happen. Like you can't you like the moment he called his shot at the beginning of Raw, you knew it was going to end with him RKOing
Yeah,
Drew McIntyre.
absolutely.
But the promo was solid.
Yeah,
The promo was solid. He listed all of Drew's failures, but then like coming back up to where he's become the WWE champion. But then he listed his accolades, and it's like, yeah, he should be up there as the best.
Yes,
In at his current age, and I'm looking forward to this match.
I am.
This is the first real match Drew McIntyre will have had being the champion.
Wait, you're not counting his Big Show match after WrestleMania? Right after his match with Brock Lesnar? A real match?
No.
How dare you? That was the hardest match he's ever fought in his life. He was just waiting to get his plates done. And he had that awkward interview at the beginning of the show. Or at the end of the show. But I agree. This seems like a certified SummerSlam main event. This has box off written all over it. And my prediction for it, I have Randy Orton winning this. I appreciate Drew and wanted him to keep it throughout the pandemic and at least one time have the title in an arena full of people. But the United States policies are preventing that from happening. And I feel like he will get it again, and maybe he'll beat Randy Orton or whoever becomes champion. But Randy Orton having the championship right now seems like the right move. How do you feel?
It does. I'm actually a bit bored of face champions, really. Like, it's better to watch the face chase the champion, the heel champion, rather than watch a face be champion, especially when there's no crowd. It makes it more difficult to follow.
Oh,
but
wow.
I agree with everything I agree with what Eric is saying, where he said my biggest issue with the promo are the wrestlers he referenced. WWE is relying too much on the past. He should at least drop Cena's name. But I don't agree with Cena because I don't think he really got the best of Cena.
He has. Well, it went 50-50 for years, but I think Cena ended up winning more of the matches by the end of it.
Yeah.
I think. So, I believe you're referencing a text. So I was like, he didn't say that in the chat. Where's that at?
He did say it in the chat.
Oh, well, there it is. Yeah, I obviously, Lumber Chat. I love you. I just don't look at you. But, I feel like he mentioned everybody. It was just mentioning a bunch of names. I don't know what Randy Orton had. I feel like most of his promos come off the top of his head, and he isn't actually being scripted anymore. Because it's very natural Randy Orton, I feel like, lately. So, who knows? Maybe he just forgot to throw out Cena, or he didn't throw out a bunch of other people. But him becoming champion and ending Drew McIntyre would be, I feel like it's reasonable. It's reasonable. And I don't know how the wrestling community is going to take it. Is that, they're relying too much on this 40-year-old man, even though he is the best current act or wrestler in the WWE. And we do need a heel champion. Currently, right now, I believe in all promotions, other than Imperium having the tag team titles, Sasha and Bayley are the only heel champions. But that's because they hold like 80% of the belts.
I would say Walter's a heel.
Championship don't count if you're not wrestling, Manny. I'm sorry. He's not active.
Yeah, everyone else is face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a good deal.
Yeah, Imperium is a tag team that's not even on TV, and I had to stretch to find that. I don't know what EO stands. I think she's a face. I'm like 90% sure she's a face, even though she beat up Tegan. But yeah, they don't really have. AJ is an Intercontinental Champion as a heel, but he's not really doing anything heelish.
No, after he shook hands with Matt Riddle, I feel like he's taken a step back.
Yeah, like you got face points. What happened there? You were going to the dark side, and now you're a face. We need more heel champions.
It's like we're talking about him like he's in Mass Effect.
Yeah, that's how I declare my wrestlers. Like you're like Baron Corbin. If he was in Mass Effect, his face would be all decrepit and have a scar to him, and he would smell like brimstone. It would be disgusting. But AJ is in that like, it could go either way at this point. We need more heels. I mean, I guess Shelton Benjamin is the 24/7 champion.
Shelton Benjamin isn't a heel. He's never been a convincing heel.
He's with the he beat up some ninjas. I'm glad I didn't slip up on that one, but he beat up some ninjas this week, and I feel like yeah, he
His
didn't really
mama
do much.
was more of a heel than he was.
Yeah, even when he was dyeing his hair blonde, it wasn't working.
The
Yeah, we
gold
need a good
standard.
heel. And MVP is not the champion. He is still carrying around his championship belt. Whenever Apollo is cured of COVID, he will be the actual champion.
Well, given that he hasn't defended it in almost nearly 30 days, he should be stripped of it.
Well, I mean, you can't start stripping people over 30 days because then you got people will start asking questions about when Brock Lesnar was champion. Wow. According to oh my God, blank it out. Oh no, I lost it. I don't know the height clips now. Asian wrestlers are not heels. I put this up. Asian wrestlers are not heels if they're not champion. Asuka was a face, and so was Io.
What?
Well, on Asian, yeah. I'm blanking out on his name. I don't know why. Haven't had my coffee or something. It's in the chat. Look at the chat, Manny. I can't
That
multitask.
hasn't appeared on my screen.
Oh, well, it will in a second. Unless it went by already. I don't know. It come up. Any minute now. I don't know. I got nothing. Levi! It was Levi who put it up. And he was saying that Asian wrestlers are heels unless they wrestle Sasha and Bailey. Which isn't true. It's not true. Asuka was a face. And Io is, I think, currently a face, even though she sits in the swimming pool and cuts her promos. You can't really tell.
She got her face kicked off by Dakota Kai last.
Yeah, and Dakota Kai is obviously evil. Well, no one apparently saw this Levi post but me. I don't know how I was the only one to see it. It comes through on... I'm not looking on the actual channel. It just comes up on my screen.
Yeah, I must have got blocked.
Dang. You guys all got blocked. Congratulations, guys. That being said, what are your other takeaways from Raw? Seth Rollins made Buddy Murphy into a real gangster. How did you feel about that by taking an eye?
It's like those mafia games where it's like Buddy Murphy started off Raw as a level 1 crook.
Yeah. Yep.
He left a level 50 boss at the end of Raw this week.
Buddy Murphy earned his teardrop this week. Because Seth was like, man, you about this life? You about this gang shit? You better take his eye. Take his eye. Take his eye.
Well, you also know who's a piece of shit right now.
Who's that?
While this was happening. Humberto Carrillo. Where the fuck was he? If he was all about defending Ray's honor a few weeks ago and tagging with Aleister Black, why didn't he come out to help Aleister Black? Why didn't he come out to help Dominic?
Hold on.
Piece of
Hold on.
shit.
Hold on. He's about the honor of Rey Mysterio. He can give a damn about Aleister Black and Dominic. He wants Ray. He wants to be Ray's son, alright? This had nothing to do with him. He had a match later. He knew that he was fighting Buddy later, and he wasn't prepared. He didn't want to lose an eye. He did not want to lose an eye like everybody else. But what I did take away from this is that, one, like you said, Manny, earlier, but I don't think it was actually on the show. It was somewhere else. But Dominic takes a good ass whooping, but he also fires up really well when he was swinging that kendo stick. I was like, Dominic's a man. That's a man, damn it.
Yeah, and I feel like you need to mention what I also said.
What's that?
Dominic needs to go after Becky Lynch.
Revenge!
And that baby.
Now, here's your strategy. Now, I'm not condoning attacks on babies or pregnant women. But what I'm saying, if you want to do an eye for an eye, in order to get Seth back, you take the son's eye or the kid's eye. You take the kid's eye. As soon as this boy pops out, and you go in there and you take the eye. Anyway, that's brutality right there. I don't know.
The chat's gone a whole different direction. So Levi has said, Eric, AEW actually is catered to 40-year-olds. WWE is booked for 50-year-olds. They both need to cater to younger people. Wow.
I guess we can talk about this then. About the youth and trying to bring in a younger audience for everybody. I feel like both companies are failing at that. I feel AEW is stuck in the Attitude Era, kind of, or wants to be stuck in the Attitude Era.
I don't think they're failing because they had Roman Reigns. He's just taking a break, given that he's immunodeficient and that
Do you
doesn't have a
feel
real
Romans
strong
for
immune
the?
system.
Do you feel Romans for the kids?
Yeah,
Like the kids be
This is
like,
the-
"Yeah, Roman, he's cool."
he was getting the Cena reaction. It was only the older males that didn't like him.
Yeah. The women and children loved Roman. God rest his
Yeah.
soul.
So they had Roman Reigns, but like he's not here at the moment. But which means someone else has to step up to the plate, and no one else has. Which goes into the story that I think it was a conference call with the shareholders where Vince actually said that they need to build new stars. Where he referenced that Triple H is doing a good job building new stars on NXT, and then eventually them moving over to Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
But their transition doesn't work onto Raw and SmackDown as well because they don't know what they're doing with them. Which I feel like Triple H should have a bigger role on Raw and SmackDown because he's worked with them in NXT.
I think they need to give Triple H. I would like for them to let. How about let Shawn Michaels run NXT and promote Triple H to SmackDown or Raw? Because Triple H, for what he does with NXT, he does give it that cool vibe of like he seems to incorporate music and vignettes, and he tries to make it as fresh as possible and unique, and he pushes the talent that the people want to see push. All the cool, the people look cool. So there are a lot of cool acts on NXT. Like EO looks really cool. Karrion Kross gimmick is pretty cool. And
but that's what it is. Triple H watches the other products around. Like he's aware of things going on around him, whereas Vince and his yes men are in this bubble of just WWE focus, so they don't see what's going on and what's working and how the business has evolved.
Yeah, and but I just feel like all companies are failing at. I mean, they're not failing at like how things have evolved. It's just that I just think they're not connecting with a lot of the audience out there because I feel like most of the wrestlers are complete dorks. And as I talked to Ryan yesterday or the day before or something, we had a conversation about how far do you think you can get into the AEW or WWE locker room before you actually feel like you're afraid of any of them. Like, I feel like I can get through the entire AEW roster until I get to Jon Moxley when I'm like, all right, let's I'll pull back my fight. I may not fight this guy, but I can go through that roster until I can win a bunch.
Brian Cage could throw some arms.
Yeah, I know, but how far can you get to? Like, if you start from the bottom, starting with like, let's say a Sunny Kiss or a Private Party or Grant Garrison, whatever his name was. How far do you think you can get up that roster before? Like, if this was Street Fighter, how far do you think you can get up into the roster before you go like, I should pause and be like, oh shit.
At what stage are you facing Sunny Kiss?
That'll be early on. That'll be like stage 1.
Yeah, what if you don't get past if he hits you in the dick?
Well, you should be prepared for that. You should be prepared for that. Don't get hit in the dick. That should be a strategy for everybody in every fight. All right, I'm going to fight you, but I'm not getting hit in the dick. I like that Eric has to go to lunch. What the hell was he doing at work in the first place? Oh, guys, I got to take a break for this. I got to go to lunch. But I feel like, yeah, I think there's a step of like Moxley. For me, I think I can get to the Bucks. I can get to Omega. I think I can take Hangman Page. And then it's like Moxley, Cage, and then I can get the Murder Hawk. I know I can take the Murder Hawk.
No, you couldn't.
He has a tramp stamp. I can fight him. I think I got him.
You'd be the next black victim of the Murder Hawk on his way to the ring.
He's so prepared for black people. It's ridiculous. But I always feel like I thought that was an interesting question, as opposed to like NXT. I feel like I can go through a bunch of people. I can get through a lot of them. But when you get to like Raw, SmackDown, I think there'd be a pause right away where it'd be like, these guys are pretty big on these shows. Like, oh, Baron Corbin, Jesus. I'm not ready for that. Angelo Dawkins, the Viking Raiders, God damn it.
Hold on. If you get taken out by Angelo Dawkins,
Angelo is a big dude.
You gotta call it quits.
Angelo is a big dude who I would fear if it was just like me and him one-on-one. I would pause and be like, here we go. I think I can get him. Bop. And he lets that hit. I can get through Ford. I know I can get through Ford. Probably can't get through Angelo. Although Ford may get me with the quickness. But anyway, I don't know what this
most
is
of
supposed to.
AEW might get you with quickness.
But I don't think they can fight. I think they fight like girls. Most of them look like little girls to me. Sammy Guevara, Jungle Boy, Marco Stunt, Sonny Kiss. All of them. I get through. I'm all through that one. The Young Bucks. I'll take him. Jericho. He's in his 50s.
You can take Jericho.
I can take Jericho. He's in his 50s. If I can't take a 50-year-old man, what am I doing fighting? I feel like I get pretty far. Anyway, I don't even know what this is devoted to. Fighting around the world. If you have comments on wrestlers, how far you would get to the AEW roster or the WWE rosters, let us know in the comments. Feel free. Manny, do you have anything else to say about this edition of Monday Night Raw or anything that's happening in wrestling?
No, but I now have an idea for a decent tier list.
Of who we can fight.
We can fight.
Yeah.
Who we think we could take in a fight.
And my main problem is it's too many. It's too many. When I was watching UFC, I was watching people and I was going like, that guy would kill me. No, hands down, that guy would kill me. That guy would kill me. That guy would kill me. And then, I watched WWE or we were talking about AEW and stuff. I kill these guys. I shouldn't be able to look at your fighters and be like, I can kill that guy. They should be like, that guy would kill me. Like Ricochet? Ah! I strangle him.
Oh no, the moment I saw there was a video online and it was Ricochet reacting to Katie Cantazaro's appearance at the Royal Rumble, and he was crying in the back when he was talking to her of how happy he was. I was like, what kind of soy boy are you?
Yeah. You're too soft, man. I can give you these hands. Get you, I get Cedric. Probably piece up the entire WWE tag division.
I'll tell you one person you won't be able to get.
Who's that?
Nia Jax.
Nia Jax would probably take me out. Probably take me out. One,
Probably.
I don't want to hit. I don't want to. Yeah, it's. I don't want to hit a woman for one thing, and two, I know how I could beat Nia Jax. I'd kick her in the knee, but I would feel morally wrong about that. Like, bah.
She'd throw you in the trash.
Yeah. I feel Nia Jax, Nyla Rose. I think Shayna could piece me up.
you think Shayna can?
I'm going with a thing. Okay, I'm going with a thing.
I know Shayna could take the both of us at the same time.
I'm just saying. I'm talking about the men roster. The men roster I can get through. Like, I don't even think if I was fighting the women, I feel like I get beat up more if I started with the women before I went with the men in current day wrestling. Like, if I like walked into a room and it's like, who you gonna fight? And the first one is Asuka, I'm like, oh shit, maybe. And then it's like, bop, bop, bop. Oh no, I'm done.
How did this turn into who we can take in a fight?
I don't know. I don't remember. I think we're talking about wrestlers being cool or something. But I believe that's when we come back to the end of the show, guys. And I'm super zoomed in one more time because what happened to these settings? Make sure you tune in next Thursday for the epic conclusion of our week. Or not really the conclusion of our week, but the Wednesday Night War edition of the show, in which we just talk about NXT and AEW and how did they fare head-to-head. Announced on the card this week for the AEW / NXT shows are NXT announced Gargano versus Strong, which is going to probably be good. They also have the Keith Lee is going to address Karrion Kross and Dijakovic being murdered, the second person to be murdered in a week on WWE programming. The fourth person this year. Because you got Gallows Anderson, Io Shirai, Kairi Sane, and Dominic Dijakovic. All dead. Who else?
You've got Shotzi Blackheart versus Mercedes Martinez.
That's right.
And
Shotzi's going to die.
Then you've got the triple threat match with Finn Balor, Dexter Loomis, and Thatcher.
Timothy Thatcher. Yep. Which should be great. Should be great. Like, those are 3 different unique character dynamics that I'm really looking forward to.
Also on Friday we've got our watch along, and where you can watch along with us with SummerSlam 2002.
Oh yeah, the entire SummerSlam 2002. Rumored to be the greatest SummerSlam of all time.
Well, we hold SummerSlam 98 in high regard in our hearts, and I think that's all nostalgia. But on the internet believe, and a lot of all the other wrestling channels seem to believe, SummerSlam 2002 was the best SummerSlam ever.
I plan on tearing that apart. Yeah, I'm tearing that apart. But I'll tell you this, if they put this SummerSlam on a battleship, already the greatest SummerSlam of all time. If they start shooting cannons.
However, I feel like we need to watch a Tatanka match.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know where to go. That should be our rolling theme of the summer. Tatanka, the boy of the summer, in which we watch all of Tatanka's matches. I don't even know what the next Tatanka match will be.
The Tatanka match should be the opener, because I don't think we should close on Tatanka.
Well, we already have 3 hours of 2002. We should hold off. I don't know. Tatanka may have had a match in 2002. Who knows? I know he didn't. Also, guys, I'm gonna hit to the clip of our closing. Here, bye. Hear me? Please buy. Please. Anything you can do to help out. We're really broke. Come on. Please. Help us. Buy now. Come on. I'm going to rewind it again. Help us and buy now. Please. Look at that. That t-shirt. Look at that. That could be you. That could be you in that hoodie. That could be you in that blue t-shirt. You could be wearing that mask on your chin, under your nose. That could be all of you. So please.
Don't you want that limited edition shirt?
Yeah. Limited edition.
Don't you want to look like me?
Yeah. You could be Manny on your birthday, even though you're not Manny on his birthday.
You gotta live your life like every day is your birthday, Marcus.
Yes. Living my best life. Alright. That's the end. That's the conclusion of this show. See you guys Thursday. Stay sharp. Enjoy the Lumberjack. You guys are the best in the world. This will be out today. Pieces. It says Wednesday Night War, July 23rd. Yep, that's what was going to come up. Alright. Later, guys. Thanks. Like and subscribe.